Welcome back to Beyond the Hype, where we, take a deep dive into some of those complex topics and try to separate fact from fiction.
hmm
And today, we're focusing on something that's been raising some red flags in the online business world.
Okay.
Cliqly and Conversion House Media.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to be examining those claims about some lucrative email marketing opportunities alongside user reports that paint a much different picture.
Yeah. What's fascinating here is that on the surface, Cliqly and Conversion House Media, they seem like a dream come true,
Yeah.
for those aspiring entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
But when you start peeling back the layers, you see a concerning pattern emerge.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, we're talking about allegations of deceptive marketing, unpaid commissions, and a lack of transparency that's leaving many affiliates feeling misled and, frankly, cheated.
Yeah. Our listener, you reached out to us because you were seeing these same red flags.
Yeah.
You sent over a stack of sources, reviews from Trustpilot articles, even internal documents. So today, we're going to break it all down together, piece by piece, to help you understand what's really going on with these companies.
Yeah, and given the seriousness of these allegations, it's important to approach this deep dive with an objective lens.
Absolutely.
We're not here to take sides or jump to conclusions. We're here to present the information from your sources and let you form your own opinions.
Exactly. So let's start by laying the groundwork. Who are the key players behind Cliqly and Conversion House Media?
Well, both companies are operated by DE Marketing LLC, headed by Bobby Jones and David Beeson. This is where it gets interesting. This isn't their first venture into the world of online marketing. They
Okay.
have a history with similar business models like Instant Email Empire back in 2019. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it raises the question, are we seeing a recurring pattern here?
That's a great point. If there have been issues with their past ventures, shouldn't that raise a concern for anyone considering working with them now?
Absolutely. And to add to that, there seems to be a deliberate shift in their marketing strategy. This time around, Bobby Jones is front and center as the face of Cliqly.
Oh,
In the past, they primarily used actors for promotion, so it's almost as if they're trying to project a more personal, trustworthy image.
you're right. That's a noticeable change. But let's get to the heart of this. What exactly is the business model they're promoting with Cliqly and Conversion House Media?
On paper, it sounds quite appealing.
Okay,
They offer affiliates. Those are individuals who promote products or services in exchange for a commission, the opportunity to build an email marketing business.
got it.
The pitch is that you can generate substantial income by leveraging their system. However, many affiliates are claiming that this promise of easy money is simply a bait and switch tactic.
Hold on, let me make sure I understand. Are you saying that the promised commissions and earnings might be misleading? That affiliates are potentially spending more than they earn?
Precisely. There are examples where affiliates are pouring money into the system, chasing the dream of financial freedom, but end up in a worse position than when they started.
Oh, wow.
One of the sources you provided mentions Bobby Jones, showcasing a $100,000 commission account as proof of Cliqly's success.
Okay.
But what he allegedly failed to disclose is that the affiliate in question invested significantly more than that to reach that figure. It creates a false sense of achievable success, right?
It does.
Yeah.
So you're telling me someone could be spending tens of thousands of dollars just to see a fraction of that in return. That's not exactly the get-rich-quick scheme it's made out to be.
Yeah.
And what about this free trial that keeps coming up in the reviews? What's the catch there?
That's another red flag. The
Oh.
free trial allegedly inflates user earnings, making it seem like you're making money hand over fist.
Oh.
The idea is to hook you to encourage you to invest more once the trial ends. However, the reality is often quite different.
Okay.
Once the trial period is over, affiliates are often left struggling to even meet the minimum cash out threshold.
I imagine that can be pretty disheartening, especially if you've already invested a significant amount of money based on those inflated trial earnings. What is that cash out threshold, by the way?
It's a mandatory $300 minimum before
Okay.
you can even request a cash out. But here's where it gets even more frustrating. You have to keep paying a fee to remain active, even if you haven't reached that $300 threshold.
Really?
So imagine this. You've invested your money, haven't seen the promised returns, and now you're being told to pay even more just to stay in the game.
That sounds incredibly predatory. It goes against the whole idea of building an asset, which is how they market this opportunity, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Hmm.
What was initially presented as a way to create a sustainable, independent business has, for many, turned into a financial drain. Features that were initially free are now locked behind monthly subscription fees. This constant need to invest more contradicts their claim of empowering affiliates to build their own businesses.
So far, we've uncovered some potentially questionable practices when it comes to the financial aspect of Cliqly and Conversion House Media. But what about the actual commissions? Are affiliates getting paid what they're owed?
That's where things get even more complicated.
Oh,
The issue of unpaid commissions is a major concern highlighted in almost every source you sent us.
right.
We're potentially talking about millions of dollars owed to thousands of affiliates.
Wow, that's a huge problem.
Yeah,
Is Cliqly offering any explanation for these missing payments?
they're trying to distance themselves from the responsibility of paying commissions.
Oh, really?
Cliqly claims to be solely an email marketing platform, while payments are handled by a separate entity called Conversion House Media, or CHM.
But wait, doesn't the same parent company, DE Marketing, own both Cliqly and CHM?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's run by the same individual, Bobby Jones and David Beeson. This separation between Cliqly and CHM seems like a convenient way to deflect accountability.
So they're essentially moving money between different pockets of the same organization.
That's the perception many affiliates are sharing.
Yeah.
And this separation has created even more issues.
Like what?
When Cliqly first launched, CHM was included for free as part of the initial sign-up.
Okay.
But in February 2024, they suddenly implemented a $19.77 monthly fee for CHM access.
Okay, let me get this straight. Not only are affiliates allegedly not receiving their commissions, but they now have to pay extra just to access information about those commissions.
That's exactly what's happening.
Wow. Okay.
Without paying this fee, affiliates can't see their commission data or access their personal bank information. Cliqly claims that this fee allows them to hire more support staff to address payment backlogs and respond to inquiries.
But from what we're hearing in the sources, their support responsiveness hasn't improved.
Not according to the reports we're seeing. Affiliates are feeling left in the dark with no clear communication about when or if they'll receive their hard-earned commissions.
That's incredibly frustrating. It feels like you're being given the runaround. You mentioned something earlier about a discrepancy with the IRS 1099 tax forms. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. Some affiliates are reporting that they received 1099 forms reflecting unpaid commissions. This means they're potentially facing a tax liability on income they never actually received.
That's adding insult to injury. They're being taxed on earnings that don't exist. And what about those changes to the terms of service, or TOS, that you mentioned earlier?
Yes. The TOS, which is essentially the contract that governs an affiliate's relationship with the platform,
Right.
has been changed multiple times without any prior notification to the affiliates.
What kind of changes are we talking about?
Well, for starters, the time frame for paying commissions has been extended. It went from 180 days to 365 days, and now, according to some reports, it's been stretched to a staggering 730 days.
2 years to receive your commission? That's absurd. Did they even bother to inform the affiliates about these changes?
No, they didn't. This lack of transparency makes it extremely difficult for affiliates to make informed decisions about their continued participation in the program. And remember, all of this is happening while they're being marketed the idea of building an asset. This implies a sense of ownership and control,
But the reality is that Cliqly operates like a closed-loop system.
Yeah,
Like you're trapped in their game with no real control.
exactly. Let me give you an example. Affiliates aren't allowed to promote their own offers.
Right.
They have no visibility into what offers are being promoted through their efforts. It's like being handed a car but only being allowed to drive on their predetermined routes. You don't really have control over where you're going or how you get there.
So they're sending emails on Cliqly's behalf without even knowing what they're promoting.
That's what many affiliates are claiming. And to make matters worse, there's a complete lack of transparency when it comes to how email lists are collected, how revenue is generated, or what the actual commission structure is.
So not only are they potentially not getting paid,
Yeah.
but they're also denied the tools and information they need to effectively manage their supposed business.
Exactly. And that extends to the technical aspects of the platform. There are no analytics, no statistics, no way to segment email lists, all features that are standard in legitimate email marketing platforms.
This is painting a pretty bleak picture. But I'm curious, what about those positive testimonials we see online? Surely some people must be finding success with Cliqly.
That's an excellent question. And it brings us to another aspect of this situation that deserves a closer look: how Cliqly handles user feedback. It seems they've taken steps to control the narrative around their company.
What do you mean by control the narrative?
Well, there's evidence suggesting they've offered incentives in exchange for positive reviews and testimonials. We're talking about things like prize money and platform credits for those who leave glowing reviews on Trustpilot or create positive video testimonials.
So they're essentially buying positive feedback. That seems incredibly deceptive.
It certainly raises questions about the authenticity of those positive reviews, and it doesn't stop there. There are also allegations that they've actively suppressed negative feedback and criticism.
Are you serious? How are they doing that?
Well, some affiliates claim they were offered free credits for reporting other members who voiced concerns or criticisms on social media platforms, essentially silencing those with legitimate complaints.
Wow, that's pretty messed up. It seems like they're really going to great lengths to control the narrative and silence any dissenting voices.
It does raise serious concerns about their commitment to transparency and ethical business practices. But thankfully, you provided us with a source of unfiltered feedback,
Yeah.
the Trustpilot reviews.
Oh, right.
These reviews offer a glimpse into the real experiences of people who've used Cliqly.
So what are these reviews saying? Are they echoing the concerns we've already discussed?
The overall sentiment is overwhelmingly negative.
Right.
Common complaints include the ones we've already talked about: non-payment of commissions, unresponsive support, and the controversial $19.77 monthly fee to access bank account information.
Do any specific examples stand out to you from these reviews?
One reviewer mentioned being an affiliate since June 2023. They invested over $1,000 and haven't received a single commission payment since March 2024. They're still waiting for their earnings despite paying the monthly fee for CHM.
That's heartbreaking. Another case of someone investing their hard-earned money with nothing to show for it.
Unfortunately, yes. And many reviewers expressed feeling scammed and misled by Cliqly's promises. They were drawn in by the potential for high earnings and the idea of building a sustainable business, only to be met with silence and financial loss.
It feels like a classic bait-and-switch tactic.
I
They lure you in with these grand promises and then leave you high and dry once they have your money.
It certainly raises questions about their ethical responsibility. They're playing with people's livelihoods and potentially causing significant financial harm.
This all feels incredibly disheartening,
Mm-hmm.
and it goes beyond just individual financial loss.
Right.
These kinds of practices can damage the entire email marketing industry.
You're right. It erodes trust in legitimate platforms and affiliate programs, making it harder for genuine opportunities to thrive.
So what can be done about this? Are there any ways to hold Cliqly accountable for their actions?
Some affected affiliates are calling for a regulatory investigation. They believe Cliqly's practices, from the deceptive marketing to the non-payment of commissions and the unilateral TOS changes, warrant official scrutiny. They're specifically targeting the Federal Trade Commission, or FTC.
That seems like a reasonable course of action. The FTC has the power to investigate and potentially take action against companies engaging in unfair or deceptive business practices.
Yes, and while the outcome of any potential investigation is uncertain, the collective voice of those who feel wronged is a powerful force. It shines a light on practices that need to be addressed, not just for the sake of those directly affected, but for the health of the online business environment as a whole.
So what does all this mean for our listener who sent in these sources? What are the key takeaways they should keep in mind as they navigate the world of online business opportunities?
First and foremost, be wary of any opportunity that seems too good to be true. Promises of easy money with minimal effort are often a red flag. Legitimate businesses don't operate that way.
It all comes down to doing your research right.
Absolutely. Don't just take their marketing materials at face value.
Right.
Dig deeper. Read independent reviews from multiple sources, search for online communities or forums where people share their experiences, and try to connect with those who have actual experience with the program or platform you're considering.
Transparency is key.
Yes.
A legitimate business will be upfront about its business model, how it generates revenue, its commission structure, and its terms of service. They should be responsive to questions and concerns and shouldn't shy away from addressing negative feedback.
Exactly. And it's also crucial to remember that building a successful online business takes time, effort, and often financial investment. Don't expect to get rich quick. There are no shortcuts to sustainable success.
This deep dive has been a sobering reminder of the importance of critical thinking, especially in the online world. We need to be vigilant, do our due diligence, and approach opportunities with a healthy dose of skepticism.
I couldn't agree more. We live in an age where information, both accurate and misleading, is abundant. It's our responsibility to develop the skills necessary to sift through the noise and make informed decisions that protect our interests.
Well said. Thank you for joining us on Beyond the Hype, where we strive to empower you with the knowledge and insights you need to navigate the complexities of our world. Remember, stay curious, stay informed, and as always, be wary of the hype.
And don't forget to think critically.
Thank you for listening to the Beyond the Hype podcast.